Hey everyone, and welcome to the video. So I'm going to be real with you, I kind of have to speed through this video. I've recorded this twice and I've had separate issues arise both times, and now I'm kind of constrained for time. But today we're going to be discussing what cheats I want to see come back when the cheats are added in July. If you didn't know, in July we're getting an update that's for free adding cheats, so we'll get a bunch of cheats. I had some questions about people asking if it's with the DLC or the update. To my knowledge, it's with the update, so that's just kind of some confirmation for you there. So these are basically my picks for cheats I want to see come back, and I'm sorry if this seems kind of rushed. I am kind of rushed, I apologize. Anyway, let's get straight into it. So, the first cheat I'd like to see come back is actually from Saints Row 2, and it's basically adjusting the character's size to be crazy proportions. Whether it makes us tiny or whether it makes us huge, or both, I would love to see these come back. I have so many fond memories of being this massive Godzilla-looking monster in Saints Row 2, going around and pimp-slapping the enemies, whilst being like 60 feet. It's crazy, and I definitely want to see that one come back. So for me, I would just love to see the size alteration come back, and I think they could do some crazy stuff with a reboot when it comes to like wingsuiting and stuff. Imagine being this massive wingsuiting pterodactyl looking thing. That'd be absolutely badass, and size control would just be ideal. Another thing I'd like to see added is super speed / jump. Now, this game is clearly going for a more grounded approach than Saints Row 4, very clearly, but it's not like it's Saints Row 2 levels of grounded, okay? It's definitely a middle ground. And honestly, with the story being the way it is, I feel like people would rather just have a fun sandbox opposed to that grounded nature at this point, just because of how things are, at least with this game. So I would love to see them add superpowers to a certain degree. Obviously make them toggles, and obviously don't make them crazy overpowered, but super sprint and super jump could be really fun, especially with a wingsuit. Imagine like jumping into the air, gliding into a wingsuit, and then landing on the ground and sprinting around super fast. It doesn't have to be anything as fleshed out as Saints Row 4 system, but honestly, just some super speed or some really fast movement would be really cool. Another thing I'd like to see is the unlimited ammo / clip thing come back. This was an upgrade in Saints Row 3, and I think you could get it in Saints Row 2 through doing the activities. But yeah, I'd love to see that come back. It'd be crazy to see how much damage I can inflict whilst having unlimited RPGs, shotgun ammo, etc., making the weapons just that bit more fun for the sandbox. Again, just kind of improving the sandbox elements here. I'd love to see weather / time control. So I'd love to say, for example, play the game in 0.5x speed. Like imagine playing Saints Row in slow motion with that weird crispy frame rate. It would just be really fun to mess around with that stuff, and it's something we haven't really had before. For weather, I'd just like to see us be able to basically toggle whatever we want. With the new selfie mode, having a slowing down time feature or a speeding up time feature and weather control can definitely get us some badass shots, and I personally would love to see that stuff get added. Another thing I'd love to see added is low gravity. With the wingsuit being the way it is, it must be just so fun to get into low gravity, jump into the air, launch around there, mess with some really low gravity wingsuit physics. To me, it just seems like it'd be really fun to mess around with, and low gravity is definitely more up my street of weird shit Saints Row could definitely do. Wait, why am I stuck? I'm stuck. What the Saints Row, baby. Saints Row. Okay, now that I'm not surgically attached to my motorcycle, another thing I'd like to see added is infinite momentum on the wingsuit. So, whilst I'm rolling down this hill here, the wingsuit is great, arguably one of the most fleshed out mechanics in this game. Super fun to use, and the only downside you really have of the wingsuit is it will eventually come to a stop. So why not use cheats to remove that? Imagine if you could go down and then fly up like I am right now, but instead of it stopping here and kind of getting us to this point where we're kind of slow and flailing around. Imagine if you just had ultimate speed, so you could literally just dive yourself up. Essentially what I'm asking for here is a cheat that will give our wingsuit like unlimited speed, or perhaps a cheat that will just allow us to use the wingsuit's boost mechanic over and over again to mess around with that as much as we want. I'm stuck again! Oh, there we go. Okay, it worked this time. I was stuck only for a couple seconds. Another classic cheat I'd love to see come back is the brains cheat from Saints Row 3. We had zombie uprising in Saints Row 2, we had brains in Saints Row 3, and there were zombies in like a mission in Saints Row 4. So why not add some more in this game? I know that zombies don't necessarily fit the tone of this game. This game's somewhat more grounded, maybe, than 4 and 3. I don't even know at this point. It's something. But I feel like zombies would still at least be fun, and it would just add a bit more to the sandbox. And again, like I said earlier, we're at a point where being serious kind of isn't what this game's going for, so embrace that and at least make it fun. That's one thing I will give Saints Row 4, to kind of go on a little mini rant here. Saints Row 4, is, whilst not being a great grounded Saints Row experience, it is a very fun game. And at the very least, I'd like to see the reboot go for that approach, opposed failing the approach of trying to have a middle ground. Because right now, it's just not as fun as Saints Row 4, and not as like gripping or compelling as Saints Row 2. It's a weird middle ground, where only Saints Row the 3rd and the reboot reside. Another one I'd love to see come back is Golden Gun. This is a really weird request, I know, and such a niche one, but hey, one-shotting enemies is fun. Why can't I do that in this game? Just saying. Just a small one, I know. Another classic cheat I'd love to see back is Heavenbound. Imagine shooting your enemies and watching them float into the sky. Imagine using the thrusters, boosting them into the air, just to watch them explode into little mini pieces and then float into the heavens. I'm just saying that sounds really fun, and I'd love to see Heavenbound come back. Another thing I'd like to see come back is Crazy Peds. Imagine being with your co-op partner, putting a cheat on, and having all of the trucks drive into you. Again, this is some memories of like Saints Row 2 that I absolutely love, and I would just like to see kind of come back. Saints Row 2 really did kill it with cheats and, well, everything really. Super explosions would be great too. This game's got some cool weapons, but explosions are very underpowered in this game in my opinion. Even the grenades and stuff don't really do much, so I'd like to see them basically be fucking nuclear. I don't know. Imagine throwing a grenade and watching it blow up a whole block. Picture like Saints Row 4's weird dive thing, where it basically just nuke a street if you were high enough. I'd like to see grenades that powerful. Just really go overboard and wacky with it, but obviously make it a toggle you can turn off and on. I'd like to see unlimited perk points come back too, so if we're going to be getting some perks that aren't the best, why not let us spam them? Why not let us constantly do that weird SMG twirly thing, or throw as many grenades as we want? It's stuff like this could be really fun, and basically add a lot of replayability to the gameplay, and for me, I'd love to see perks be more usable anyway, so this is a fun way of making perks more usable for the players who don't necessarily care about the more grounded gameplay, like myself. And then I'd like to just see some classics come back. We obviously need cheese. We obviously need respect cheats. Whilst money and respect aren't a hard thing to get in this game, why not just give them us for the sake of having them? More options is better, and it's things that should be very easy to program in. Just give us respect, give us, or XP as it's called in this game, and give us money, etc. It's stuff like that that I think could definitely just be done to make this feel a lot more Saints Row-y with the cheats, and yeah, things like that. They just have to be there in my opinion. Anyway, though, that's my list. Again, I'm sorry if this is kind of rushed. Before I go, though, I do want to promote something here. I very rarely promote anything on my channel, especially stuff that you actually have to pay for it. But I recently opened up a merch store, and we got some really cool AJTS merch in there. It looks amazing. It looks swag, as the cool kids say. Snazzy, I believe, is actually the word people use in the reviews. That person is me, though. But yeah, it's very cool, and I don't really promote my merch or anything like that, but with a new store being opened up, I'd like to just see what you guys think of the design, so I'll put them on screen. If you want to tell me what you think of them, let me know, critiques or anything you like about them, either is helpful. On top of that, if you want to go check it out, I'll put a link in the description. Alright, that's enough shilling, I'm sorry. It sounds so sellout when I talk about this stuff, I hate it. Anyway, thanks so much for watching, everyone. I hope you did enjoy this video, and I will see you all in the next one. Take care, everyone.